Hey, Ken Colbert here.
Cheryl Smith here,
and we are Republicans in bad standing.
We got so much to talk about tonight.
We do.
First, I want to welcome some special guests that I know that are listening.
Oh, I hope so.
That would be like, we want to welcome Dottie Thomas.
Yes.
Kyle Moores, Brenda Goff, and possibly Mike Duckworth. Yes.
Okay.
So we know you troll us, and we know that you watch our posts. So we just want to welcome you this evening. But something that happened this week, they stooped to a new low.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that. But today in Madison County, another district, which is the 5th district.
I saw that.
Stooped to a new low as well. So we've been telling our listeners this whole time that this has been going on in other areas. So I'm going to play just a short I'm going to stop it. Of course, it's disappeared. No, here she is. Here she is.
Well, hello, Madison County. Here is your update for what just happened at the 5th district hearing. I just want everybody to know you'll have to tune in tonight on the political spotlight to hear all the ins and outs. It was kind of an interesting afternoon. But what I want everybody to understand, we are far from over. This is not the end. You'll have to tune in. I am on the naughty list for the Republicans. They did make it pretty clear that we're not going to tolerate people speaking their mind. So we're going to bring more to you at 9 p.m. tonight. So tune in. Let me hear what your thoughts are. And we are far from done. We are just beginning on what we're going to.
So that was Catherine, and she was the assistant coroner up there. And so she's not a dumb lady, that's by any means. And I kicked her out of the party today. So she says she's not done, and that's what we've been talking about for
quite some time.
Almost 3 years now. Seems
right.
like 2.
But you know what, Cheryl? Again, what we're finding is that this growing number of Republicans in bad standing is the title that people are given whenever they don't capitulate or they don't support maybe perhaps the agenda that they're having occasionally. The numbers are growing.
So when I said they stooped to a new low, I know it was a joint effort, but Dottie Thomas was the one that carried the torch on that. And so she doesn't confer with the county chair. By the way, who is the county chair? Is it Kyle Moore? Or is it Dottie Thomas? I'm getting confused.
Me too.
And the fact is she a clerk or is she sitting there as the vice chair? I mean, which is it, Dottie? I don't know. But it clearly looks like you superseded the county chair. So with that thought, we're talking about it's going on all over Indiana. It's probably all over the country as well.
Well, it's really prevalent too in the 8th district. We know of several cases of the same kind of weaponization.
So instead of calling you into the election board, okay, because you were a naughty person too, no, she took it upon herself to call the police. Now, this is a new low. So is this the standard you want to go to now? I mean, is this the standard? I mean, harassment at your house when you weren't there, coming to your business. I know you guys are enjoying this.
Yeah, they're laughing at it.
That's okay.
It's not a laughing matter,
It's
though.
not. No, because it can happen to anybody. It can happen. It can even happen to you. So you may not be laughing when that happens. So the thing is, something has to be done. And we're going to tell you how he got, and of course I'm here sitting next to him, how he got to this particular spot in time. And everybody knows that Mr. Langhorn, who is in the Courier and Press, has used our article numerous times and repeats your name, your picture, my name, Mike Doherty's name. It just goes on and on and on. I can't get any new news. But with that said, that's how it, back in the day when we recruited all these precinct committeemen.
94 to be exact.
Right, right. And we did it because we wanted to have almost a full chart of precinct committeemen so they could vote for the county chair, county vice chair, secretary, and treasurer.
And have fair representation. Because again, people may or may not be familiar with this. The Republican Party under the previous leadership, they were managing the Republican Party with approximately 30 Republicans.
Right.
The country club.
Right.
And we should have had 134 total.
I know.
Right, exactly.
And so, because this is the grassroots, you guys talk about grassroots, but you don't really mean grassroots. The grassroots are all of these people that we had recruited.
Right. Did an excellent job.
Yes.
Yes.
They did. But, you know, we did too.
That's the point.
I know, that's the point. It's too bad. You should have us on your team.
That's right.
But anyway, so let's go from there. How this went from there to you getting not served by the police, but looked like a receipt book.
Yeah, a citation.
A citation,
what it was.
because you chose to run on the ballot, and so you got called. Well, they called the police. I don't know if it was sheriff. Was it? We don't know.
I still don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So let's talk about the sequence of events.
Let's do.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Going back in time, literally there was a hearing that was conducted, which resulted in 3 people being thrown out of the Republican Party, hence Republican in bad standing.
Which is exactly what happened to Catherine today.
Right. And there's others across the state.
All over the state.
It's all documented.
Yeah.
But what people don't understand is the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, Libertarian Party, they're private organizations. So they create rules and they can break them, they can modify them, they can change them. But one thing is absolutely unconstitutional within the Republican Party, in my example, is the issue of lack of due process, number one.
Right.
Number 2 is an appeal process. So on the day of the hearing, it was already predetermined the outcome. And so I was personally thrown out of the Republican Party as a Republican in bad standing because of the issue of being critical of my elected officials, whether Democrat or Republican. And in my example, they cited 17 social media posts against Vanetta Becker, which are accurate. I'm now up to at least 100 social media posts calling out my elected official, and I have a right to do that. Vanetta Becker was the star witness. She literally had come in and given her piece that the fact that I had talked allegedly about her, which is accurate. I pointed all the things that she was doing and not representing the Republican platform. In fact, she's even proven herself again based upon how she votes. She votes 71% of the time with Democrat initiatives. And it's a big joke. The woman's been in this position 44 years. She will not call back. She will not respond to emails. And as more recently, when I was up at the Senate in front of the committee talking about redistricting, they're literally within 50 feet of this woman. I asked to speak to her and she ignored me. She would not meet with her constituent. So this is an example how this due process and appeal process is not afforded to people that maybe are having a misunderstanding in regards. They weaponize it. If you don't capitulate, if you do not bow down to their particular agenda.
To their pleasure. Remember?
Well, that's if you're appointed.
That's the word. That's the wording.
Yeah, at the pleasure of your county chairman.
Yeah, I know.
Right. The hypocrisy. In fact, I want to talk tonight, too, about specific examples, and I'm going to name names within Vanderburgh County in this example that blatant violation based upon the written rules. I was thrown out because of my violation of my constitutional right under the First Amendment to say whatever I want, okay? I'm an elected official. I won my races 2022. I won in 2024. Disenfranchising thousands of voters that voted for Ken Colbert to represent them. And the party chair at the time, Mike Duckworth and Brenda Goff, determined that this was a problem because Ken Colbert is not capitulating based upon what was happening within Vanderburgh County.
You're not going over in the corner and sitting in the corner and being a good boy.
No, and I'm being very passionate about this.
Well,
I mean, that's my style. I can't help that.
We are. We're passionate, and we know what's right. We know what's wrong. And I've watched the Republican Party here in astonishment. I cannot believe
I don't recognize it.
I don't recognize it either, and I'm asking myself what happened, because, like I said, I was a vice years ago in Posey County, and these things weren't. If you had a problem with somebody, you went like man to man, woman to woman, whatever. Go talk to them and say, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? No, it's this slice and dice, and you're greater than we are, and that's the attitude that you guys have, and it's ridiculous. And how do you expect to grow the party? You do expect us to vote Republican, and you do expect us to donate, and we continue to do that, but you still think we're your enemy. And I am sick of it, and I know Ken is too.
I am, and I filled out.
And not just us.
Oh no, this is a problem across the state. That's why you've got people like Joseph Bortka filing suit against the Republican Party, because they have blatantly violated the platform.
Right. That's been done. They haven't even changed the platform since 22. It still says on there, we're waiting for Roe v. Wade to be overturned.
I understand.
I know.
And the frustration of but
they change the rules almost weekly.
Yeah, but you know what? That is the responsibility of the delegates to vote on that. And they're arbitrarily moving the moving parts constantly. In fact, they don't even have it updated again, and they're still making changes to it.
Exactly.
Without consent of the delegates. That's something else that they're working on.
Right. And we've talked about that a thousand times too. Go ahead.
All right. It's really frustrating, because when you know that you're wanting to follow the rule of law, you're wanting to follow the policies, the platform about what the Republican Party is all about, and the organization has been infiltrated by special interests, whether or not it's corporate interest, whether it is not, there's many interests involved with it. I filled out the document because I have a right to put my name on the ballot, because I meet the criteria of the Republican Party. The law, not a policy that the Republican Party has determined, no due process, no ability to appeal this arbitrary decision to violate my rights to get involved. The other issue, Cheryl, I'm going to remind you about this. Okay? This was out at the University of Southern Indiana.
That's what I was thinking while you were...
Okay. Now, we have a conflict here, okay? Because at USI, there was a memorial service, basically what it was, for Charlie Kirk.
The day after he was killed, we went.
Right. And there was hundreds of people out there.
Right.
And
we're minding our own business.
Yes. And literally, we have a person walk up to us to start having a conversation. Who is it? It is Kyle Moore.
Yes.
And so there's a group of us there talking. We're having dialogues, and Kyle's telling us, the group, about how it's important to bring the party together, which we agree. Okay. And
we just started talking. We just started talking about our grievances and what happened and all of that. And you said,
I said, well, Kyle, you're going to have a problem if I decide to run for political office, because the Republican Party now says that I'm this Republican in bad standing under the previous administration by Mike Duckworth and Brenda Goff. Brenda Goff is still there, by the way. All right. And his response to, oh, no, Ken, we have no problem. You can run for whatever political office, and I'm not going to contest this. Okay, so I file, for a state delegate again, and we got many people to run for the different position for state delegate. It's important to get the people involved. It's not just this little country club group or elected officials that take these positions from the grassroots people. So I file my documents. In fact, we recorded it. It's all recorded, and we have proof of what happened. Dottie Thomas, you see her standing right there where I'm filling it out with Kenneth. I get my form stamped. I'm a candidate for the position, and I'm thinking everything is okay. And then several days later, I get a visit at my business by these two individuals. I don't know who they are.
They had nothing on their attire that said they were with the sheriff's department, which I'm sure you intended that to be that way.
Right. And they asked to speak to me, which I talked to everybody in my business.
We're basically telling the public, not the ones who actually sent them. They already know what happened.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so they start talking to me, and I start recording, and I have recordings of this. And if you go to the X account, you're going to see this, the interaction. And I'm like, why are you here? And they said, well, we're giving you a citation. okay, for what? Is this a speeding ticket? You know, this is really unusual. The man and the woman never gave me their names. However, in the video, you're going to see where his business card. So we now know the person's name. We've checked that out, and he is affiliated with the Vanderburgh County Sheriff's Department. Okay. So literally at this serving around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the evening, they place a call apparently to the courts, and they set up this court date. That date is after the election. Okay. Normally, when you have a dispute, somebody has a candidacy issue, you will appear in front of the election board and they will determine the outcome. It didn't happen with this case. I mean, I'm flabbergasted thinking, okay, I'm running as a candidate because Kyle Moore, the county chair, did not have a problem with me putting my name on the ballot, or at least attempting to. And then it just blindsided me with what they were doing with this. And I'm thinking, you've got to be kidding me. The gentleman says to me on the camera, too, that apparently they tried to serve me at my home because he says, you have a long driveway. So that evening I went and pulled the cameras, and sure enough, there were 3 officers outside my home pounding on the door, and you'll see the video
and
on there.
It's dark. So
it was late.
So Dottie, did you tell them to go there at night? Did you tell them to do that? Because I mean, that's real harassment. I know they did it to one of my other friends as well one time, but I didn't know they would serve something like that at night. Plus, you have never, ever received any documentation.
No, I still haven't. As of this recording, still have no information about any alleged charges. In fact, I even looked it up on the website, you know, under my case, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there. And you don't see a signature of the person that filed this citation. Who did this? Who intentionally violated Ken Colbert's rights?
Well, I'm pretty sure it was Dottie Thomas.
Well, I do too. That's my opinion. I don't know this. And is this something that Kyle Moore or his wife, Diana Moore, she is our prosecuting attorney here in Vanderburgh County.
Another conflict of interest also, because Kyle's our county chair.
Yes.
And she's our prosecutor. And especially in a case like this, she should give it to somebody else if it goes that far. I don't know. But I do know that my constitutional rights were violated at the very beginning of this entire scenario on purpose. We're still supporting Republican candidates. We are helping these people run for office. We're supporting people across the state of Indiana know this. We're helping these candidates get into office. What the hell is, I'm sorry, what has Moore's done at all? Think about the sheriff. Yeah, we don't even have
he didn't even put a candidate on the ballot to run for the Republican side of this.
But you're worried about Ken running for a delegate position, which
I'm sorry, I'm really frustrated right now. You can tell this.
If you had a problem with Ken, then why didn't you call the election board? That's what you're supposed to do. That's what the rules say. But I guess you guys
wait. What about Carruthers?
Oh, that's right. So Carruthers,
she's a Democrat. Go ahead.
She's a Democrat, and in the interim, our clerk was Marcia Abel.
Correct.
Because Carla Hayden quit short of the election. So it was my understanding that when Carruthers came in to sign up to run, who is also an attorney, make sense?
Right.
She knew she did not live in that district for 6 months like you're supposed to. I think it was 1 day. She had changed her address. And apparently Marcia said, I don't think this is legal. I don't think you should do this.
Well, did they file a complaint with the election board?
Oh, no.
No, that's the point.
They didn't.
Okay.
Well, not only that, they didn't call the police either.
Right.
So for what happened, over a year, she sat at the city council.
Spending our tax dollars, approving budgets.
Yeah, voting for and all that was okay, and you looked the other way. You were spineless, Mike Duckworth, to bring her in. You were spineless, okay? Because you could have done that then.
Right, to fix that problem.
But that went by. And she just recently, last week, got off. They dropped the charges. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Isn't that nice? That's just nice. I mean, I guess you can, we didn't try that. We didn't try to run in another district.
No, we didn't do that at all.
But that happened. But then we're going to give you a few examples.
Of the hypocrisy.
Uh-huh. And then we had, let's just talk about, since I mentioned Mike Duckworth, this has to do with him being a member of the school board. and they vote to increase the salaries of the EVSE.
Right.
He has his wife, his daughter, son-in-law working there, and he votes for them to get a increase. Same thing with another member on the school board. His wife worked at the EVSE. Neither one did recuse themselves from voting. The hypocrisy that is, you should have had to recuse yourself to vote a pay raise in for people that are related to you, working in the same organization that you are.
Well, I want to talk about Steve Hammer.
Well, I'm getting there next.
Okay, go ahead then.
So Steve Hammers was upset because he was for Cheryl Musgrave to be the sitting
for the mayor
position.
But they ran Natalie Rasher.
Natalie Rasher. So he gets upset and he says, I'm going to go over and support the Democrat.
Right, because Natalie Rasher ran in the primary. She won it.
Yeah.
And so you had Natalie Rasher against the current mayor, Mayor Terry.
Right.
Okay?
So he's openly for her.
And Mayor Terry is a Democrat.
Exactly.
Okay.
But then time goes by, and I guess he must have asked for their forgiveness or something. But all they did was slap his hand. And you know what? I don't care, because that's the way it should be. If you should be able to go talk to the person and find out why did you do what you did.
They've weaponized this. That's what they've done.
And so I'm okay with him getting his hand slapped.
Right.
And you did the right thing. And now he's working for Governor Braun. But he openly was for the Democrat mayor. You can't.
And that is in the rules. It says specifically that you are a Republican in bad standing if you support the opposing political party.
Right. And so then, we have all these public records. I was shocked at everybody, and I don't even know Wayne Park, but I know he was a county chair for many years.
Right, prior to Mike Duckworth, the sequence of events.
Correct. I was shocked. I mean, shocked when I saw on the money figures that he gave $1,000 to Evan Bayh.
Yeah, he's a Democrat.
He's a Democrat. And he gave him there's probably more. I was like flabbergasted. Yeah, that's just one example. And you guys hold him up like royalty. Like I said, I don't know the man that well. I know he's not been a county chair for a while. But it is the hypocrisy. All of these different examples. And then today, we had some of our team.
Oh, yes. They were watching online the videos of some of the Senate hearings and committee
because that's what some of them do. They like
that's right.
And so Ken gets a call from one of them, and this is what they told him.
Absolutely. Now, this was a resolution that was in regards to an Andrea Hunley. There was a resolution on the floor. Senator Becker, who is a Republican and also the one that was allegedly critical of my social media posts, publicly on camera says that Andrea Hunley, who is going to run for mayor of Indianapolis, Becker says she would make a great mayor. That's an endorsement of the other political party. That in the rules says you are a Republican in bad standing. Do you think the Republican Party in the state of Indiana is going to rectify what she's done? Are they going to perhaps censure her for 8 years where she can't run for office? Are they going to file charges against her? I'm just bringing this up because of the hypocrisy.
We have people reaching out to us more and more that have been put through this same
manipulation. That's the word.
I'm glad you used that.
That's what it is.
It is.
But you know, Cheryl, it's on the Democrat side too. They weaponize it because if you don't capitulate, again, there's good people on both sides of the aisle. I say it all the time. And there's also bad people on both sides of the political aisle. I'm an American, okay? And I have a right.
American first. You're American first.
Yes, I am.
I know.
That's the agenda. I'm not there for political ideology. I'm there to represent the people. I'm elected. And you get disenfranchised, and they did it on purpose in regards to that. I think about all the waivers, as an example, that Vanderburgh can. I can't speak about the other ones. I know it's happening. Okay?
I know.
We know this.
But I forgot to mention that one tonight, but you can.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
No.
All right. But some of the waivers that literally Mike Duckworth provided, he gave waivers to known Democrats to run on the Republican ballot, or people that didn't meet the 2 primary rule, which he has as in the rules, the capability of doing that. It's just shocking about how they manipulate to get their key people that will be their flunkies that are easily managed. I hear that word all the time too. That people that cannot think for themselves because they're at their pleasure.
Right. And the thing is, it saddens me that you guys are so full of, it's the power, we know it's the power thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the power issue. And you really didn't care how you got in your position as long as you got in your position. So you recruited people that didn't live in their precinct, okay, so to get you guys across the line, and some other nefarious things as well. But we're not going to go into that tonight. But I'm disappointed that we can't all be on the same page and stop being criticized for everything that we do whenever it's actually,
it's for the benefit of the people. Because we don't capitulate. What they're doing is highly questionable. That's what I see, whether or not it's in Vanderburgh County, whether it's in another county within the state of Indiana, or even at the state level. Things that are going on. We talk about this stuff all the time on the podcast.
But I do think the 8th District's on steroids. There's a power.
Oh, there's a lot. There was one that happened in Patoka. You saw that one? That just recently happened. And who's behind that? Brenda Goff.
Right, the 8th District again.
Again. Now, this was brought to our attention too. People tell us and show us factual things. We have some photography involving a blatant violation of election law that needs to be brought to the attention of Diego Morales in regards to Vanderburgh County. And I'm going to tell you what it is, okay? The actual Indiana law is under 3-11-8-15. It's regarding persons permitted at the polls during the elections, okay?
Again, it's a law.
It is a law. This is not a Republican or a Democrat policy or rule.
Right.
This is the law. It was brought to our attention that the woman that was running for county clerk, Dottie Thomas, at the time she was the treasurer, but she was running for county clerk, was in and out of the polls all over Vanderburgh County, and in fact, counting ballots down at the mayor's office or down at the civic center.
Yeah, the election area.
And so I was curious about, okay, what's the law say? Let me read it to you. Again, right here. All right. Either of the following who have been issued credentials signed off by the members of the county election board. That would be the county vice chairman of a political party. That's Dottie Thomas. So she was the treasurer and the county political party chairman.
Candidate.
Yes. However, this is who can and cannot be in the elections or in the polling places. However, a county chairman or a county vice chairman who is a candidate for nomination or election to the office at the election may not enter the polls under this subdivision. And it's my understanding that the election board may have allegedly provided a waiver. That is not possible.
No.
Dottie Thomas was in these elections. We have people that have sent photos. We have people that will validate that she violated the election law. And maybe because being so vocal, that's why they're targeting Ken Colbert on the ability to run for political office, that he wins because the Republican voters want Ken Colbert representing them.
That's right. That's right. And so, yeah, this is not the party rules. This is a actual law.
It's the law. And Diego Morales, I'm telling you, this is something that must be investigated. There are people that are disenfranchised with what's happening in Vanderburgh County. This is a problem. This must be investigated.
That's it. That's it. But this has been going on now for almost 3 years. There will be a reckoning day.
Oh, there will be.
And so we wanted to fill in the public because I know that Ken's had a lot of calls. People are supporting him. We even had somebody offer a monetary gift if we had, but we don't need that. But irregardless, these things have been happening far too long. They're increasingly happening, and all over the state. we get these calls, and it just confirms that we know that the Republican Party in Indiana has done a change, a 180 change.
Right. They've been infiltrated just like the Democrat Party. The Democrats, from my point of view, have gone rogue. Yep. Now you have the Republican Party doing the same thing.
Right.
They're disenfranchising Hoosiers. They're not listening to us.
And honestly, we are America first. We are backing our president 1,000%.
We are, yes. I'm not apologizing for that either, because that is the right reason.
That's right.
And you have people trying to undermine our president of the United States because they're more of a different type of Republican.
Yeah, that's called an establishment.
Right.
And we're done with the establishment. And I think that if there's any other people, we tell them this before, if you have been designated as a Republican in bad standing, hey, wear a badge. Call us, email us, and we'll talk with you, and we'll get together and have our own little thing going on and finding out.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
We are going to continue to run America First, truly conservative Republicans. We're helping throughout the state. We will get these people over the finish line, and through attrition, we're going to be unseating these unsavory Republicans that have hijacked the Republican Party in the state of Indiana.
That's exactly right. So stay tuned. There'll be another broadcast that tells us the rest of the story. But we want to give you this version tonight because we've had a lot of questions and a lot of calls. So,
and I am passionate about it because obviously I'm taking it personal because my rights have been violated, and the Republican Party doesn't care because they do not have a mechanism, either through due process or an appeal process, to deal with these problems.
On a political side, but you do have...
Oh, on the legal side.
But the legal side,
absolutely.
you do. So we'll see you the next time.
All right.